Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update, my boss demanded that I replace all my pants, and then told me she needed to supervise me while I got the replacements. Original post, I wear normal pants to work. Our dress code is business casual, and I have gotten myself sized by a reputable tailor. All my slacks and chinos are from normal brands you'd find at Macy's and are normal, relaxed fit. However, yesterday my boss called me into her office and told me I would no longer be allowed to wear the pants I normally wear to the office and would have to wear something less revealing. Apparently, my bulge is inappropriate for the workplace. I have a normally sized junk. I actually freaking measured it to make sure I wasn't crazy, and I'm pretty close to the US average. Would a woman with large breasts be told she can't wear anything but baggy clothes? Would she be told by her boss that she must wear nothing but restrictive sports bras to work? I doubt it, especially in my workplace where women 2 seats down from me wear far more provocative clothing than my damn slacks. I asked her what should I wear instead. These are my size, and she said just go buy something looser or get a bigger size. I'm not rebuying my entire collection of work pants. Go ahead and report me to HR. Let's see them try and fire me for having too much junk. Edit, to clarify, I'm aware that women have been told to cover up quite a bit in the workplace. I'm not dismissing that, just highlighting the very visible double standard of bodily expression in my own workplace. Now for the top advice before reading the update. I would be concerned that someone stared at my lower part, enough to notice that. I am too. I am in a long-term relationship and planning to propose early next year, so I can't afford financial or emotional turbulence right now. She didn't say who exactly brought this concern to her, so as far as I know, it could have been anyone in the office. Send an email to HR and your boss and her boss and ask for a mediator for your continued discussion between your boss and you about the size of your bulge in your work pants, as you don't feel comfortable discussing it privately with her. Edit, as others have pointed out, it would be best to get documentation of the event in some way prior to doing this. This is the correct way to escalate the issue. Your boss needs better training. You can't just come out and tell your subordinates that you can see their thing. Unprofessional. Harassment even. That's the stupidest nonsense I have ever heard. What the hell are you expected to wear? Parachute pants? Apparently, gotta go full medieval jester up in here. Or go the kilt way. Right, if they can wear skirts, I can too. Email her a quick, "Hi, I just wanted to recap what was said in our previous conversation regarding my dress. You stated, and I quote, that the bulge too big and requested that I buy looser or baggier pants as mine are too tight. Is that correct? I want to be sure we're on the same page here. I'm also requesting a current copy of our dress code to prevent these issues in the future. I enjoy our workplace atmosphere and I want to be sure I'm committed in performing in a way that maintains the standard. Thank you. Watch it disappear." This is what I was thinking too. Get it in writing. If that doesn't make it disappear, then have some fun with it. Seriously though, that sucks. Oh man, I was working in construction and my boss told me I couldn't wear my Carhartt pants. They apparently not only had to be black, but they had to be some stupidly specific brand. But they refused to supply them for me. I got a copy of the dress code, and sure enough, it said bottoms must be this stupid brand. Didn't say pants because they allowed us to wear shorts. Well, I noticed on their website that they also sold kilts. I came to work the following week in a work kilt. It was so comfortable. My boss tried to give me grief for it, but I just referred to the dress code and said it only specified brand, that the color had to be black, and that I had to wear something below the waist, thusly bottoms. He couldn't do anything, and that is how I came to wear work kilts for the next year. And now for the update. I made a post a bit back about an insane demand from my boss. Essentially, she told me that my pants were too revealing and that they showed my bulge when they do not. She then told me that I needed to replace my work pants. To recap what advice I got from my original thread, here it is. Go talk to HR. Never talk to HR. Go talk to a lawyer. Lawyer will waste your time. Your pants are fine. You need new pants. She wants to bang you. She hates you. After dwelling a little bit on my options, I settled for a middle-of-the-road approach. I contacted 2 well-known lawyers in my area and got a consultation from them about my situation. They both thought that while I was sexually harassed, the case wasn't bulletproof as there was little evidence and no pattern of harm. They then also warned me about going to HR without any evidence, as it can cascade into me losing my job in unexpected ways. Fine, since I needed evidence and a pattern of whatnot, I first wanted to read up on what standards my company has set for managers when it comes to dealing with harassment. I requested from our online learning catalog to take the harassment and tough conversations courses that are normally required only for managers. In the Tough Conversations module, there was a scenario where a male supervisor needed to ask a female employee to correct her work outfit as it did not meet the company's dress code. The module in plain English states that the supervisor is not to intervene and to refer the issue to HR. I assume that the inverse, a female supervisor reprimanding a male's outfit, would follow the same standards. I then sent an email to my boss asking her to follow up on our previous conversation. I wrote, "To boss, I want to clarify some things regarding our previous conversation. Please confirm whether or not my understanding of your statements is correct. My pants violated our dress code by being too tight and revealing my bulge. The issue pertains to all my pants, not a specific subset of my wardrobe. This is a requirement from management and not a request. Please get back to me. Sincerely, OP." It took over a full workday, but the response I got was, "Boss, yes, I did tell you to fix your wardrobe. This is not a request." To boss, if management is demanding that I replace such a large amount of work clothing, it must be done at the expense of the company. Please let me know if this is possible, as we will have to work something else out if it isn't. Sincerely, OP. And her response later was, "This can be done, but I must be with you to supervise your shopping. Check my schedule for my availability." Good lord, suddenly the "she wants to bang you" theories seemed less crazy. I backed up the emails to a personal account and sent everything to HR. Less than 2 hours later, I receive a phone call asking me to come to HR immediately and drop my work unless it was time critical. I complied. I was told that they were taking this matter very seriously and that I should take the rest of the day off. I came back to work today and boss lady is gone. I was told right before lunch that she had been placed on administrative leave pending a full investigation and that I shouldn't worry as it's against company policy to engage in any form of professional retaliation. I sit here now like a king on a porcelain throne, telling you about my victory during my post-lunch dump. Bye-bye, boss lady. Supervise your shopping. WTF. I think the company wouldn't have given a damn, but she shot herself on the foot by saying the company could cover your new bulge-less wardrobe. Yeah, which basically means you will try on the new pants, and I will stare at your lower part to make sure I can't see your junk. Oh yeah, bye-bye, lady. Enjoy that dump. Well earned. Thanks, I did. Your email approach was flawless. Got the answers you needed, plus whatever interest she had in you, however weird it was, and ended with the professional and tactful approach from the employer. Done. I was shocked that she replied in the way she did. Seriously. In business and personal emails, I am always cautious about what I write, knowing that things can be taken out of context. And the last thing I want is for my email to be on the LinkedIn, or here, or anywhere for that matter. How could she not think that it would not go sideways? That person is not ready for a management position. I would be surprised if they kept her. User Homogeneous Moss got it dead on. That manager would have to be an even greater level of idiot to put it in writing. Most similar cases we had were basically unsolvable because nothing was in writing. Way to prove your boss was an idiot. Thanks. I was assuming that she wouldn't bite. I guess I gave her too much credit. Hell yeah, dude. I read your original post and assumed there was no way that she'd be stupid enough to confirm any of that in writing. You threaded the needle on this one, my guy. Walk tall with that big old bulge of yours, King. Thanks, I will, King. Next story. The candidate I had to interview for this week was my high school bully. I work for a fairly large company in the tech industry. I've worked there for about 5 years now, and I have a fairly high up role in management. Over the last few weeks, I got roped into helping build a new team within the company and was assigned to do multiple interviews. This was fairly short notice for me, so my job was only to do the interview and give my impressions of the candidate and the results of the interview. The company is also just back to doing in-person interviews, so the process is even more wonky as of now. When I received the list of candidates for the day, I saw the name of a man we will call Brad. It had been over 15 years since I had last seen him, but I could never forget the face of the man who made my high school years a living hell. Brad was your typical jock. I was an overweight theater kid in AP Math and Science, and you can see where this is going. Those were the worst years of my life, and Brad was one of the contributing causes to that. So, to see him in the candidates here was a shock to me. I didn't believe it at first, but when Brad walked in for the interview, I knew that I was face to face with the man who tormented me in high school. At first, Brad didn't recognize me, but as we sat down, he remembered who I was. He tried to play buddy-buddy with me, pretend we were friends in high school, and I played along. I did the interview, and he did okay. Nothing stand out, but middle of the pack. He made a joke that I would get him the job right. I laughed along and he left. I finalized the interviews yesterday. I wrote Brad a scathing review. Downplayed everything good about him and exaggerated his flaws. Also wrote in that he tried to coerce me into giving him a good review because he was an acquaintance in high school. It's been 15 years since I graduated high school. I am an entirely different person than I was then. But for some reason, I was dragged back to those days, and I don't know how to feel. My school bully saw me at a reunion 20 years later. He came over, we chatted with a group of people, he waited for the right moment, then asked semi-privately for my forgiveness for what he and a couple of others had done. He said he cannot expect me to accept his apology, that he wished he could undo it, but that he really felt sorry for it. I accepted. Felt good. Kids are awful. Some become horrible adults, many don't. Some good kids turn criminals as adults. That's the thing. A lot of these guys just turn out to be regular adults after high school or college. I was like that in high school, I'm ashamed to admit. I wasn't physical, but I would joke kids. At the time I just did it to make myself and others laugh. Horrible thing to do, I know, but that was really all it was, and I didn't think about it past that. I didn't have the perspective that my mere presence could make someone anxious and dread coming to a certain class. So stupid. Now, I would be absolutely embarrassed to run into one of those people I used to joke in public. I'd have to apologize to them. Screw the guy who OP had to interview. A lot of bullies turn out to be regular adults, but most people bullied don't turn out to be. Don't you love it when life comes around full circle? It's an opportunity that the universe gave him to add some balance. You're gonna be a piece of trash. See how that affects your life. Don't beat yourself up or feel bad about this. Had Brad changed, he wouldn't have tried to pretend like you were buddies. He wouldn't have made the nudge about you getting him the job. He would have acknowledged the obvious discomfort, apologized for his past actions, and asked you to consider his application. He did the opposite of that. He is still toxic, and you absolutely did the right thing keeping him out of your work environment. Not only for your own well-being, but for the well-being of your coworkers. Exactly this. People make mistakes. Often we are victims of our own past immaturities. People can and do change. Had he clearly shown honesty, gave a proper apology, and showed that he wished he could have been a better person in high school, I would have thought that OP here was now being the bully. However, he did not. He was probably uncomfortable and awkward and tried to push it all under the rag, even trying to do the completely stupid thing of trying to gain credit just because you knew each other in the past. The complete opposite of a meritocratic system on which interviews of this type are built. OP's actions lead to the correct outcome for this candidate, I believe. But perhaps he didn't have to downplay his good qualities. All he had to do was be honest, not for the candidate's sake, but for OP's conscience in the future. All in all, screw that Brad. OP can learn from this, but the outcome for this candidate is an appropriate one, I believe. Hence no harm really done. Now for the last story. People who mock fat people at gyms are just bullies who want to make themselves feel better about their own sad, pathetic lives. Today I spent an hour consoling a girl in the woman's locker room. She's a big girl, but wanted to make changes. She's been going a week, and she told me every day people have smirked, laughed, made rude comments, and just been awful. And yes, I witnessed some of it. People always mock fat people that they don't go to the gym long enough, that they are too lazy. I firmly believe this isn't the main case. It's jerks who make them feel so bad about themselves they stop going. She won't go back now. I tried saying I'd be with her, support her and everything, but she won't go. I'm generally worried about her, but she left before I could get her contact details to check she's okay. Screw those people. Now for the top comments before reading the update. I was once sitting in a coffee shop opposite a women's only gym. A bunch of in-shape women sat down on the table next to me, and I overheard the whole of their conversation, which revolved around all the other women in the gym, either being fat, looking ugly, gross, and how one woman made her almost throw up. It was pretty disturbing how dark they went, commenting on people just trying to better themselves. Humans are miserable as hell. Seems like no matter how beautiful we get, or how much we win in life, we're still mean and miserable creatures. Once I realized this, I started taking the bitterness of others a lot less seriously. Sucks, but what else can you do really? It's really difficult being fat. If you're trying to lose weight, aha, funny fat person on treadmill. If you don't try, wow, look at that slob. It's nasty for sure. They can't win. I'm actually still angry. She was trying so hard. God knows how much this will set her back. There's more of us out there who look at a fat person working out and wish it was us with that drive. When I see an overweight person jogging down the street or at the gym giving it their best, I'm inspired way more than some jacked up juice monkey or some Instagram lame influencer, because I know how hard it can be just to start. I would fist bump or say something encouraging to all of those overweight people if it wasn't so awkward having some random dude yell, "Way to go," out the car window. So when I start feeling insecure about how I look or feel in a gym situation, I try to think about all the silent encouragement I'm getting, and I don't even know it. Update: I've contacted the gym about the incident, and they are looking into it. I actually saw the girl again while shopping and we went for a coffee. We had a good heartfelt discussion, and she's agreed to come back to the gym with me, which is great for both of us. It'll push me to not be lazy too. And after, we will go for a coffee and chat. It's nice I've made a friend and she's feeling better.